This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Hello and welcome to Lifetime on Cork, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
I'm Kathleen Gibson.
Yes.
Gibson.
Oh, it's me.
Back by request.
That's
Very important that we mention that
I hear
at the
this.
top.
I hear this.
So,
guys, I feel like such a big deal.
I know, you are a big deal. Well, one of my favorite guests. You've
Oh
been
my
on every
gosh.
season.
Wow.
You know?
What an honor.
And
this
I
is-
got some DMs, and they were asking about Kathleen. They're like, love the Zaddy episode.
Right.
And I have a movie with more Zaddies in it. And I was like, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take requests. I'll call her up. So I called you up.
Here I am.
I tried to find the movie, and I couldn't find it.
Oh,
I know. And I can't find the person who requested you. I don't know what their name is. It's in my Instagram messages somewhere. But I do have someone else on Twitter requested this movie that we're covering
my
today.
gosh, I can't wait.
So we're blending it all together. That guy's name, I
Okay.
think, is Royger.
no. Oh, Roger.
Roger.
And he's like, girl, I know you're covering
Royger?
the Madam of Purity Falls. And I'm like, yes.
Oh my
Actually,
God.
we are.
There are no zaddies, but there's lots of twonks.
Lots of twins.
And
Oh.
that is...
Yeah, there's a Give me them.
You,
Give me them twonks.
you know what a
I wanna
twonk
look at
is?
them Yeah,
You do?
it's a
You explain to me
Please, yeah,
what a
please give
twonk
us-
is.
Give
a
us a...
twonk is a man
Yeah.
that
That's a good start.
has that is little bit bigger than a twink.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like a hunk twink. A hunky
A
twink.
twonk.
age.
A twonk.
Yeah.
A hunky twink.
Right.
Yeah,
You
that
got
makes
some
sense.
muscle definition. You're not just like a
Okay.
skinny twink.
Yeah.
And with a nice big old nose, right? They
Oh, no,
usually
you
have
added that, but that's nice.
I mean,
I like
sure.
that feature
Sounds
in there.
great.
just a nice
I'll
big
take
old
that. I
big
don't
old
think-
nose and
I think it
beady-
applies to
beady eyes.
our twunk in the movie.
Okay, I don't know. This is probably off brand for this podcast, but do you think big noses mean you get a big old dick in there? You
Yes,
can edit that out.
No, that
no,
is- that is
no,
science.
That's
That is
staying in.
that is correct.
It's
That is
probably
science,
true.
And yes,
Because
Probably
sometimes I feel like when a man has a big old nose and they're just like real confident with it, I'm like,
it's big nose
there's
energy.
something in there.
You get
It's
big
big
nose
nose
energy.
energy because they got something in there.
You know, I think we need to start a scientific study about this big nose energy.
Big nose
we'll,
energy.
We'll check it out. But it's not off brand for the movie we're talking about
No.
today. Because the movie we are talking about today is
It's
The Madam of
spicy.
Purity Falls. It is the, sluttiest movie of Lifetime ever.
Yeah.
I was
It
slightly
sounds-
aroused most of the time.
Yeah.
Sounds sexy. Yeah.
Yes, so it is a wild ride, Drew. Get ready. We're gonna try to
Yeah.
explain this as I get uncomfortable explaining sexual situations.
Oh, I'll hop in there
but that's
for
why
that.
I'm like, Kathleen's got this. She will give you
Because
the details.
I thought I thought it was gonna be like funny, like sexy, like oh Lifetime. It's not even like HBO. Like it's just gonna be
Yeah.
like kind of funny. Oh, look how unrealistic that is. But there were parts that got my parts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and
Sounds like they're gonna get my
extended
parts,
sex
too.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of homoeroticism in this movie.
Yeah.
Great. That's
Very
great.
gay subtones.
Someone
subtext
who
in
hasn't
this.
seen porn yet is gonna see this and be like,
They're
"What?"
gonna think it's porn.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be
They're
like
wait, is this porn?
when I was like a tween and Cosmo used to have a sample of like a romance novel in there. They would have like a 2-page excerpt that would have like the sexy part.
And you're like, whew,
Yeah,
my heavens.
it got me
Whoa,
a going
yes.
because I didn't,
Gave
know,
you the vapors.
it was
When
it was
I was
dial-up
a
internet,
twink,
so
when I was a little twink,
I think you are a twunk.
I'm a twunk now. And when I was a twink, it's like the Showtime that I didn't have. but came in still somehow.
Yeah,
Sure.
free sample weekend.
Yeah, it was whatever, and they just show a bunch of people doing it. The
Yeah.
softy porn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But
this
this
is
still
not
Lifetime,
softcore.
yeah.
This is
Not
not softcore
quite-
porn.
Soft.
This is
porn.
socks or briefs at
Well, sometimes Lifetime gets a softcore porn vibe. Like I saw one with Antonio Sabato Jr. recently, and I was like, "Whoa, my sexual awakening, was him."
I knew.
And it felt very porny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this one, no. The production quality was good.
Yeah.
The writing was decent. The acting was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine
And-
but not to
Like
to,
it was
you know.
Yeah.
it was aight. It was aight.
It's
Yes.
like the TBS quality of
Yeah.
a Sex in the City episode.
Great.
Yeah, perfect.
That's
Perfect
great.
example. All right, so the movie today is The Madam of Purity Falls. It stars Kristanna Loken, Trevor Stines, and Olivia
Dabo.
Dabo. She's from Wonder Years.
What?
Is she?
She's the sister.
The
She
sister was from
is.
Wonder Years?
She
Yes.
is.
Was she like literally an infant on Wonder Years?
No, she was the older sister.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
The woman who plays in the movie, I think her name's Carol. Caroline? Carol?
That's right. And
Courtney. Courtney.
You know
She's
what else
Courtney
she
the
was,
neighbor.
You know what else she was on? Conan the Destroyer.
I thought you meant the sister
Big-
of the
eight-
boy.
Not the sister.
1984.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No.
she couldn't have been more than 25.
Right. No, the cougar. The cougar.
Okay, great. Phew.
And Trevor Stines is from Riverdale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
all our teen listeners know about Riverdale.
Or all your 35-year-old guests who love Riverdale.
I have not seen Riverdale, but it's on the list. It's on the list.
I mean, it'll take a good chunk of your time.
Okay. Well, great. So yeah. So Drew.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna go into the movie.
Okay.
Now you're gonna be shocked right at the top. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
We have a family. The man, his name is Jason, Trevor Stines, the young man. He is shirtless for most of this movie. So unless I tell you he has his shirt on,
Then he's not-
assume
then
that
he-
he
okay.
doesn't have his shirt on.
Got it.
Or
Got it.
he's shirtless. Yes.
Yep.
So he's shirtless, throwing around the pigskin, like throwing his little sister around.
Who you think are definitely fucking at the top of the
Yes,
movie.
totally. Because, not that they're brother and sister and they're fucking, they just we don't know he's the sister, their brother and sister
Because it
yet.
opens on them
and they're
having some gentle horseplay by a lake in bathing suits. And you're
Yes.
like, well, clearly they're fucking. And then he's like, hey, sister. And you're like, ugh.
Like, oh,
They probably had to add that.
that got weird.
They
Yeah.
just had to add that line. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, like on the editing
in
thing.
case
Like,
it's
we
not
need
clear.
Yeah.
just a real quick ADR.
Yeah.
Hey, sister.
So yeah, it's
Catch.
a family, but the family is all extremely attractive, supermodel
Yeah.
attractive.
Yeah.
Like the mom's grilling
mom is-
hot dogs, and
yeah.
she's
The
full
mom is
makeup.
unbelievably hot.
So
and
hot.
probably 39
Yes,
to two
who's
teenage kids.
wait? Who's the mom?
the mom. I forget what her name is in the movie, but I have it later in my notes. I think it might be Nicole or something.
She
Oh,
had to
is
have
it
been
the
like a guest
Kristanna-
on Melrose
Kristanna
Place.
Loken?
Yes, she must have been on Melrose Place.
She's the mom.
Yes, Nicole. Nicole is her
Yeah.
character name.
She's like, all right.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not much older than us.
She was
No.
a Terminator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a Terminator.
Well, now she's not, and she's in Lifetime movies, so
Now
that's
she's
how
the
life
mother
goes.
of an 18-year-old boy.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And the dad is there. He's also pretty hunky. He probably isn't a zaddy, I'd say.
No, he's not a zaddy. There are no zaddies in this film.
No, he's not a zaddy. But he's got a little tank top on, and he is constantly grabbing his left arm.
Yeah.
Every line of dialogue, he's like, "Kids, it's time for dinner."
Oh,
My arm.
oh, like in pain?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, okay.
like literally, you're like, oh, he's gonna have a heart attack now, and then
the scene keeps going.
then he's like, maybe I'll just take a rest, and then his son comes up and is like, come on, Dad, you're not a big old piece of shit. Play some catch with me.
You big
and he's
old
like,
piece of shit.
Basically, he doesn't say that, but essentially. And then the dad's like, no, it's just like, oh, what? Are you a big old lazy ass piece of nothing? And then the dad's like, okay, come on. And then he's like, you can throw it harder. And then immediately has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
his son basically kills him with a game of catch.
He bullies his dad into
a heart attack.
into a heart attack.
He calls his dad a piece of shit
no,
until he has
he
a heart
just
attack.
says, he's like,
he's like,
come on,
I mean,
old man.
You old little pussy, you bitch.
Like the Lifetime version of that.
Yes. And I'm not kidding, Drew. Every line of dialogue, the dad is like holding his arm. He's like, kids, I'm grilling the hot dogs. Kids, I'm not feeling so hot.
Yeah.
And then he sits down there like, Dad.
Yeah.
But then he falls on the ground and he dies. And they're like, oh no. And it flashes to a year later.
Oh, okay.
And just remember, football kills everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Because this will be a
In so
recurring
many
theme
ways.
in the movie and in our current political climate.
Yes,
Hashtag
yes.
Andrew Yang. Is that his name?
So
I
this-
don't know.
So this movie's about
Luck,
CT.
Andrew Yuck.
it's about what?
About CT. About some.
Oh,
Yep.
Great.
Okay.
Yes. So Nicole, the mom, she's now widowed. Jason and his like little hot booty, because I thought he had a pretty good booty in this movie. And Justine, she's the sister. They moved to a town called Purity Falls. Okay, and they're unpacking the car, and Jason grabs a rifle out of the trunk,
Yep.
Okay.
and Justine's like, "What
here we
are
go.
you doing with that?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "It was Dad's rifle." She's like, "You're not bringing that in our house."
No.
And he's like, "Fine." And he throws it in the
Throws?
it in the trunk.
Throws a real rifle in the trunk, and then the mom and sister have like he's not doing too well little talk, and then leave the car with the trunk open and the rifle just sitting there.
Yes. The rifle comes back.
Yeah.
Not in the way
Not in the
you're
way you
thinking.
think. That's not the way you think.
Okay,
No.
I am glad it comes back.
Yes.
because there's a lot of the shit
Right.
where it's just like, what the why? Then there's no. You showed me a rifle, and then
Yeah.
in a thing.
Oh.
You better
No,
come back.
These movies, from what I have found, are pretty economical with their like diet. Like if you see a scene, it's because it's gonna be important later.
Yes.
There's a lot of
not
lifetime-
always. Back to
This
my
one.
Lot of
Antonio
lifetime.
Zapata Jr. movie. There was a gun in that one that never came back. or went off. So
or like shows a pill bottle, and then you're like,
Yeah.
why did that doesn't come back?
So Jason's all moody and he's like running around, okay, or running to the backyard. He like finds a football, very symbolic.
Yeah, 'cause he
And
murdered his dad with
yeah,
one.
he murdered his dad with a football.
Yeah.
And he looks at it and he gets really mad. He like punches a wall, very aggro male,
Yeah.
and then he
Yeah.
throws
Yeah,
the
dude.
football in a bush. And the bush says, "Ouch."
Ouch.
No, what?
Yeah.
The bush says, "Ouch."
And that's when we meet Chad.
Chad's a bush that talks.
Yeah.
I knew it was magic. I knew there was magic.
No, he's a twunk behind a bush.
He's more just a hunk.
Okay.
Oh, he is a hunk.
He's more just a hunk,
He was
not
the
even a
hunkiest
twonk.
one. And he's like, "Oh, hey, I'm just working for my neighbor, cutting the grass." Or
And then the neighbor comes out in a satin robe.
Okay.
she's like, "Chadwick, come back, baby." And Jason's like, "Oh, is that your mom?" And he's like, "No, she's not my mom."
Yeah, he's like, I just work here. I don't live here.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he goes back inside and she like puts her arm around him and he's gonna go like trim the hedges or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna trim the hedges.
You know.
He's not just a talking bush. He eats bush.
Yes,
Sorry, that's
yes.
too far.
He eats all kinds of bushes.
Great. Okay. A mulberry bush, a blueberry. Okay.
We're gonna make a high five sound,
Great.
and that'll pick up.
Wonderful. So, speaking of cougars, we have Courtney. She's like the neighbor on the other side, apparently.
Okay.
And she's like,
She's a poor man's Nicolette Sheridan because she
Yeah.
also has an accent you can't place.
yeah, it's like Australian, British. I think
Yeah.
it's her real accent.
Yeah.
But it's just very weird.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hello, family. Welcome to the neighborhood. I made some lasagnas for you."
Usually weird ones. It'll be. Is it not? Is it New Zealand?
Probably.
Something like that.
Probably.
I don't think that's Australian. I guess what other accent?
But it's
sounds
also like kind of faint. Like
Like she's trying not to do it, but
Oh,
she can't
she's
help
trying
herself.
to do. Yeah. Okay.
So she recruits Jason to work for her landscaping business. She has a whole landscaping business that services the whole town, all of Purity Falls. And as she's leaving, Nicole walks with her out, and they bond over their dead husbands. And Nicole has like an Oscar-winning moment, and she like cries and cries.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
Nicole.
great.
And Courtney's like, "I'll be there for you. I'll be your friend. Don't worry. I will be your friend."
Yeah.
And she says, "I will be your friend" like 5 times.
And this is where I wrote, holy fuck, it's male prostitutes. Because it made you think, like, it was his sister's like a hot young blonde girl.
Oh yeah.
And so you see the
course it
hot
is.
young blonde girl, you see the brooding brother with the shotgun. So you think she's going to get sold into prostitution and he's going to
gonna
shoot
protect
her
her.
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, and then you see Chad and that lady, that cougar that was boinging him, and you're like, oh no,
Okay.
this is a twist I wasn't ready for, Lifetime.
It's a twist.
I'm already getting a little happy.
Right?
But he also, and here's what was also very smart about the writing, is in this scene where they're moving in and like they're talking about going back to school, he goes, I mean, and she's like, I'm sorry you didn't get to graduate with your friends. He's like, I mean, I'm 18 years old. I don't want to be blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Another 80-yard thing
Well,
like later on.
I brought a clip. Yeah, they do mention that he's 18
a few
lot.
times, yeah.
I brought a clip.
Which
so you can-
I
Good.
really appreciated
Yeah.
for what was
Oh,
happening in my
me
part.
too.
Yeah, good.
So this clip is from much later in the movie, but it will get you the vibe that we're going with the acting and everything,
Okay, cool.
and like the teenness.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It is very teen emotions going
Yeah.
on.
Gotcha.
He's brooding teen.
But legally
The whole time.
okay to lust after.
Yes. And this scene, he does have a shirt on, Drew. So unfortunately, you won't see that. But you can
So
look at the poster of the movie and see his abs, which
He
are drawn
does
on.
have a shirt on this part?
Yes, he
Okay.
does.
Just gotta
All
know
right,
that.
here we
Thank
go.
Stuff. I have a life.
Stop lying to me.
I'm not lying to you. I answered your damn question.
Get back here.
I have a big test tomorrow. Daniel's coming over to help me study.
I don't want you to see him anymore.
Why?
He's a bad influence.
No, he isn't. That doesn't even make any sense.
I saw him do something inappropriate.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means you're not to hang around him anymore.
You can't tell me who I can and can't hang out with.
I can as long as you live in this house.
Well, then I won't live in this house. I
Done.
never wanted to live in this house in the first place. I didn't want to come here.
You know why we had to do that.
Yeah, I know the real reason is because you couldn't stand being there anymore without Dad.
This is our home now.
This will never be our home without Dad.
You know?
Also, the
Fuck
concept that they had to move because they're too poor now that Dad's gone, and they moved into this beautiful suburban
Yes,
giant house.
great
And
neighborhood.
Also, we find out later managed to keep their cabin, like their summer house.
This kid listens to Slipknot.
Yeah,
Oh, totally. Totally.
In his room, and he's like,
absolutely.
So, yeah. So that's the vibe he's giving out the whole movie because that
Oh, yeah.
clip is from the end of the movie. So
Oh, wow, okay.
I know it gave away nothing.
just-
That scene is pointless.
you just spoiled the whole movie for
I
me.
know, right? Could have
Does he wait?
should have cut
Meaning
that one
he
out.
never changes.
No, he doesn't really have a big character arc. So Chad, our friend, our sexy man, we get a gratuitous scene of him getting out of the shower, putting on a towel,
Yes.
checking some.
There's a
text
lot of towel
messages.
work in this film that I
Sweet.
really appreciate.
Yeah, you
I
need-
know
you need
the
that big towel
costumer. Great costumer
Just
in this
said
one.
terry cloth, please.
Yeah, you show up in your trailer for the day and it's just a towel.
You're like,
Yeah.
here you go.
You're like, oh,
This is your
my-
wardrobe.
Oh
for
boy.
this scene.
So Chad hears a noise downstairs, and since he's so big and strong, he goes downstairs. He puts pants on.
Oh, also, he's on the phone with his girlfriend Amber, talking about like as he's putting away all the cash she's made hoeing into like a shoebox in his dresser drawer, and he's like, "Don't you and me? We're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna go somewhere and make something of ourselves."
Okay, so he's hoeing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes, he is a sex worker.
Yeah.
And
Get it.
he goes to his backyard and he's like, Mom, Dad. And there's a pool. And he's like, by the pool. He gets knocked in the head, falls in the pool.
Chad does?
Yeah.
Oh no, Chad.
Falls in the pool.
Chad was the neighbor that we met earlier.
yeah,
the
he's-
talking
he's
bush.
the talking bush.
He's the hot
talking bush.
Yeah, yeah.
And he swims to the side of the pool and he's like gonna get out with all his muscles, but the person holds him down with one hand
yeah.
and drowns him.
we don't see.
We
he
don't
dead?
see who it is.
Chad dead?
Chad
dead.
dies. So the next morning, the news comes on, and it's like Chad died.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, Jason's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I just met him the other day. He was the
Yeah.
he was the talking bush.
And the mom has taken the job as the guidance counselor at their high school because that's what you do when you need money is you move to a giant house on a high school guidance counselor salary.
Oh man.
And she goes, "Oh, we're going to have to set up some grief counseling sessions at the high school."
It's gonna be a busy day today.
Especially for me, because that piece of ass was mine for at least a year.
Nicole doesn't know anything yet. She's
Yeah.
gonna find out because she's
She-
a guidance
she
counselor.
learns very slowly.
and all the high school students will tell her their problems. You
Yeah.
know,
We'll
like
see.
like the prostitution ring going on in the high school. Whatever. So
They're all 18 though. They're all 18.
So Nicole, she's widowed.
Yeah.
Jason and his booty and Justine, they all go to Purity Falls High School.
Yeah.
Okay. They're there. And Jason's like making friends. He meets this guy Daniel. And Daniel's on the wrestling team?
Yeah, because Jason is staring at a poster of football tryouts at like the thing that killed his dad.
Yes.
And then Daniel's like, "Hey, you're gonna try out?" He's like, "No,
Football's lame.
I
Football
don't-
kills people.
Yeah, I don't play anymore.
I don't play anymore, 'cause
I killed my dad with football."
killed my
Like,
dad
he
with
doesn't say
football.
that, but then he's like, "Oh man, well then you should join the wrestling team because girls like love wrestling."
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
no, they don't.
Cool. Girls. Oh, for the girls.
Yeah.
Well, and right, this is the,
This movie
the
is also
gay
very
undertones.
homoerotic. which
Yeah,
I
he's like,
very
join the
much
wrestling
like.
team, and then we get like shots of them wrestling.
Yeah, so
in
that
their, like,
day
little
after
singlets.
practice, he has a singlet already, and it's like that day after school, he's in the practice.
Like extended wrestling.
And
Nice.
there's also
Okay.
like 4 girls on a
How long was the wrestling scene?
like
I just wanted to
I
gauge.
mean, it was like a good.
like
Well-
they showed a
few
whole
minutes.
match.
no, but it was just short enough so they had more time for the locker room shower scene next.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good, okay.
But they're at wrestling practice, and there were 4 high school girls on like a single set of bleachers, like 3 rows of bleachers, watching the practice.
Just so it's
The
not
practice that
that
this new
didn't
kid
happen.
just
gay.
showed up at.
Yeah, just so it's not gay. There's
Yeah.
4 girls watching and giggling.
that didn't happen.
You know?
No,
And,
that's
like-
actually where you could find in the gays.
And
in
they were
high
also,
school
like,
is
right-
they'd be like,
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna try out
yeah.
Yeah.
later.
Well,
on. I just
and
wanna,
and this is a thing we should distinguish now.
Mm-hmm.
Gay men and cougars are very much the same
Yep.
thing. You know?
it's the same.
It's the same
thing.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this for years.
So glad we know that. But in the showers, while they're soaping up their hot bods, Daniel tells Jason that he works for Courtney, and he's like, "You should work for her. She's really good, and she'll help you get
Yeah.
all the money."
Because he wants money, A, to support his family, and B, to ask out one of the cute girls on the bleachers.
Sure, yeah.
On the 2 bleachers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the cute girls on the bleachers. Yeah.
Yeah, and she doesn't matter at all. I
But
didn't
is
even
this
write
one
down
where,
her name.
is this locker room scene where we see what could be a zaddy, but he's not?
Uh,
I think it's so. There are so many locker room scenes that we can't tell. I'm
Yeah.
gonna assume it happens here.
Remind me, Zaddy.
It's just like a hot older man.
Okay.
yes. Yeah, and
And-
he comes in and bullies
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah.
So, but not Jason. Daniel.
Daniel, that's
so,
what I mean.
Like Jason's like doing some other shower activity where he's in a towel, and
He's
Daniel
like washing his other friend's back.
Yeah. And Daniel had already gotten out of the shower, but is still in a towel. And this like gray haired man comes up and slams him against the locker. It's like, "Don't you do this anymore," or something like. Yeah. Which is still like, while he wasn't like a hot zaddy, it was still like a little bit arousing to see this like older man slam this like younger one against a locker. And,
Yeah, it's like,
get
are they going to
forceful.
kiss or
Yeah.
what's happening right now?
I can
Yeah.
see that happening.
So
Is that Mr. Wiley that I see on here? Is that the Zaddy?
No, that he plays
guy?
the mayor of this town.
Oh,
and we'll get to
the
him
mayor-
later. We'll get to
The
him
mayor,
later.
The
the
mayor
mayor, in my
is,
opinion, is a hell of a Zaddy.
Well, he didn't look
Yeah.
as good in the film.
he's got a great headshot.
Do you-
yeah.
This is off topic.
Yes.
Do you guys think that Tom Hanks is a Zaddy? Do you think Tom Hanks
No,
is
he's
a Zaddy?
No,
not.
Okay.
he's too nice.
He's a daddy, not a zaddy.
He's just a dad, normal
Yeah,
daddy.
he's just a
Nose,
dad.
nosy.
He's a sugar daddy.
He's a sugar
Yeah.
daddy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
Anyway, sorry.
Daniel goes to Courtney's house, his neighbor, and he's like, "Hello, I'm here for landscaping. I'm ready to landscape."
Wink, 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 wink.
No, but he doesn't know
He
yet.
doesn't know.
Oh.
He hasn't
And-
figured it out.
Yeah, he still doesn't know. He's the only one in this whole town, and
No.
his mom.
Okay.
And she's like, "Yes, let's have some wine and talk about that."
Yeah.
And he's like, she's like, "I won't tell your mom. Don't worry." She pours wine, and then they're like laughing, drinking wine. She's like talking about like who knows what the fuck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they're gonna fuck. Let's
Yeah,
just get
and then
to
she
this.
goes, "Oh, I spilled some on my silk robe I was wearing this whole
Yes.
time over my negligee.
Oh, okay.
Will you help me take it off?"
Yeah.
And then they fuck.
You need help? Take.
Yeah.
then they fuck.
He takes it off. They have
Oh,
sex.
Now I get what you're trying to do.
And then we cut to them in the bed
Yeah.
right after.
And this is Jason now.
Yeah,
right.
Jason.
is now jamming on.
Jason's our twunk.
Yeah.
He's a twonk.
He's got great abs.
and he's jamming on
and
the
really dyed hair.
What's the
And a
jamming on-
face that
Courtney.
looks like
Courtney,
he might
gotcha.
have, I don't know, like
He's
his
got bad
face-
teeth.
Yeah, there's something about it that's off, which makes it so on.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
You know?
I get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's hot.
He's
hot.
not like, but he's not like Chad is a more traditional
Is he, like,
handsome,
Yes.
unconventionally.
Yeah.
Like, super hot.
Something
Yeah.
about him is just
but also conventionally. But
Right.
like, there's something a little different, which makes it even better.
so. Courtney's like,
He has a lazy eye, so like it kind of makes it like.
that wouldn't work on film.
Ooh.
Courtney gives him some cash and she gives him a card and she's like, "Here's your first client." and here's an advance. And he's like, what, for landscaping? What? And she's like, shut up. And then he's like, can I take a shower?
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's,
Okay, this was the useless scene.
yes.
Okay.
So he gets in the shower, and then she goes and takes pictures of him in the shower, and he catches her, but he doesn't say anything.
And they never come. The pictures never come back. Like I thought that was going to be like a threat later. Or something.
I'm assuming it's for like her binder of
binder,
men. She has a
yeah.
binder of men that has pictures in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Okay.
she's paying
because
for
she
it, so-
says that she is a sales lady for like a vegan makeup company. She basically is like, I sell Arbonne. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But really, the women come over and she shows them pictures of this like homemade scrapbook of hot dudes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they
she
just
pays,
like pick one.
She
Yeah.
pays for it, right? I mean, she
So
pays for
they have more sexy time in the shower, and now we're at the next day. So
Yeah.
the next day,
Fun.
Jason goes over to his first client's house. He, gets out the hedges to trim them,
Yeah, he
or the
does.
clippers,
Fuck,
and then
yeah, he
he
does.
takes off his shirt because remember he doesn't
Yeah.
wear a shirt ever.
Uh-huh.
And Aunt Zelda from Sabrina comes out. Mm-hmm. So Beth Broderick,
Yeah.
who's one of our favorites,
She's an icon.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
She's great. She comes out. She's got like a big floppy hat, and she's like, "Hello, are you here to trim my hedges, little bitch?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she like goes over. She like caresses his body, and he like falls over a plant. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, did I scare you? Wait till you see what I've got going on downstairs. Okay, that'll scare you."
Yeah. Wait till you see this book.
Yes,
When you
she's
see this
full
one.
on like.
Yeah.
Yeah, laying it on, and he literally runs away.
Yeah.
And runs to Courtney's house, and
What are you doing?
he's like, Courtney, what the hell is
And
going on?
she's like, you fucking idiot. Like, I fucked you and insinuated this the whole time, and
She's
you had
gonna-
all the clues.
She's gonna
I
fucking
literally
pay
already
She's gonna
paid you
fucking
to
pay
have sex with me, and you didn't get it.
She's gonna. When I say trim the bushes, did you think no one needs that?
No.
Actual thing.
No one needs that.
No.
So he's like, I can't do that. Because she's like, I'm not selling lawn boys. I'm selling sex workers for housewives.
Yeah, and then she shows him the binder.
shows him the binder, and he's like, I'm out. I can't do this. She's like, no hard feelings. That's fine. Just don't tell anyone. Okay. So he's out. So after realizing that his mother's having money problems, that's when he decides, like, I need to go back.
I need to go
to
back
Courtney. And she's like, so happy to have him back. She's like, you know what? I have
Yeah.
a car that I can let you have.
Yeah.
It was my husband's.
This is
and now
this
it's
is an
yours.
18-year-old's dream.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Well,
I can tell you
But do you
that.
want to fuck at 18? Would you have fucked Sabrina's aunt?
Hell yeah, I would have.
Okay, good for you.
Sabrina's aunt when she was Sabrina's aunt. Now she's Sabrina's grandma.
Yeah, she was old.
She's old.
She's still. I don't.
Also, though,
Nah,
I
it's
feel
fine.
like it's important to cut into. There is a scene in between with
Yes.
Amber. Remember Amber from the phone with Chad? Amber was Chad's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
When the mom is having one of her grief counseling meetings that she set up on her first day at this high school, she's like, I knew it was gonna, because they said it was an accident how Chad died, and they's like, but the police now she's like, what? They think something. He's like, well, he told me he was gonna stop. And she was like, was he doing something illegal? And then like Amber just spills like, yeah, there's this huge prostitution ring. And then the mom's like, huh, that's weird. And then like doesn't connect any dots.
No, she's like, I'll look into that. I'll be sure to tell someone.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to tell someone.
But like doesn't figure it out for a while.
No. And if it's a sex ring, like of course her son's involved.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
He's gorge.
Yeah. So then he goes to the next client,
Yes.
who
The judge of the town.
we don't find out is the judge until later, but at this moment she does come down from a very regal staircase in a blazer. Like, I don't know much
A blazer and heels.
about like what I would wear to fuck a rent boy, but I don't know that it would be
No.
a full pantsuit.
I feel like you could wear whatever the fuck
Right,
you want.
I'd wear, like,
and
sweatpants. Who
And
cares?
an 18-year-old boy would be like, yeah, sure, boing. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
And this scene was
to go.
actually this is one of those that
This
I was like,
was
oh, this is going to be
crazy.
very silly. But it was like, ooh,
You're like,
Well,
come on, Judge.
tamales.
One thing I will say, so she has him like take off all his clothes.
Yeah,
but
like
one
orders
thing,
him to
she's like,
sexily.
She's a judge.
She's like, I
too.
want you to take off your shoes. And then we
Oh, and
cut.
it's flip-flops.
We cut to his flip flops, and he's like flip flop. Like
Yeah, it's literally like bloop, bloop. Like,
ruin the mood. why
there is
don't you?
nothing
He like
less
goes,
like
he like looks around like
yeah. There's
okay.
nothing more unsexy than
flap,
hearing the
flap.
sound of an Old Navy sail flip flop just plopping on the ground.
Yeah. So it's really funny because she's like, take off your shoes.
Take off your-
Takes off his like flip flops.
Yeah.
Take off your pants. He like takes off
His
his
Old Navy
Janko
cargos,
jeans.
yeah.
Sure, cargo pants.
yeah.
Take off your shirt. It's like a ratty t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's just like showing like this guy is like a teenager.
But
you
then
know?
when they
Right.
get him down to those boxer briefs,
yeah, and his body yaddy yaddy's
And
out.
he's like, what?
oh, this
Yeah.
is when I
and
fun.
he lounges on a chaise
on a chaise
lounge.
lounge that just
Yes.
happened to be there.
And of course, and he has this crazy lighting going on, like a very what is that? I was gonna say Pinot Noir.
Glamour shot.
Film noir.
Film noir,
okay.
very film noir.
Glamour
And then
shot.
she's like, "Tell me
It
what
just
you
cuts
want
to
me
black
to do."
and white all of a sudden.
Right.
Like, ooh,
Yeah.
what a
And,
choice.
and he's like, "What do you mean? Tell you what you want to do?" And she's like, "I'm not explaining it. Just tell me. You're ruining the mood, kid." And he's like, "Take off your shirt."
He just repeats.
Yeah, he
She
really
truly
does.
does just repeat. And then she takes off her
shit.
she takes off her business lady blazer. Then she takes off her like
Take out that business lady blazer judge. Can
Yeah.
I call you Your Honor? Can I
You
call
have,
you
to,
Your
you
Honor?
have to have a question at the end because everything was a take off your blazer.
Take off your
blazer.
and then she gets
Your Honor?
She has like a cute like black lacy bra and then she goes, take your pants off. And then she had the most high-waisted jockey 4-pack brief on. It was like
Tight. Yeah,
like
yeah.
my fiance was
that.
sitting next to me, not watching the film, but playing video games on the second TV we have in our living room because that's how you keep a relationship together.
That's genius.
Is we'll have to talk about that
yeah,
later.
but and so he has got headphones on and he's playing a video game while sitting next to me and I'm watching this and he goes, "Big old draws."
Big old draw.
I love it. It's true.
But she's like hot as fuck.
yeah, and she's like grinding on him,
Yeah.
and then he like
yeah.
gets really excited, and then flips her over, and then like her legs are like wrapped around him. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, they show him. Yeah, they basically
This
like
is-
show him being aggressive, so you can see that it's also his choice.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
a
which
lot
was
of
a
fun.
key distinction here because it did feel a little weird.
Yeah, because they
This
did
is a
have.
lot
Because
of
I was
fun
like,
here.
if we switch this genders, like, would we be all outraged? But they also had like a scene before this where
Yeah.
when he comes back,
Yes.
he's like, "But I need money." He's like, and she's like, and she has a few lines that are like very carefully written of like, "Well, I wouldn't want you to coerce you into doing something you don't want to do." You know,
Yes.
like there's like, but if it's your choice.
yes.
here's
you
your
are
client.
a sex worker. You are choosing to do
Consent,
this.
consent.
There's a
So-
little bit of it, but then it goes out the window soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later on another job, I'm jumping a little bit.
Yeah, we should.
Beth Broderick has Jason over, and she is super into it because she's like, "You hurt my feelings when you literally ran away from me, my
Yeah.
sexual advances, and you're gonna have to make it up to me."
Yeah. You
so
gotta make it up, dude.
The
You gotta make it up,
actress,
man.
because this, when you have a sex scene, you
Yeah.
talk about it and you figure out what you're gonna do.
Right.
And Beth Broderick or someone in the room was like, "You're going to squeeze his butt cheeks."
Yeah.
because he gets on top of her and she's like, "Oh," and he's like kissing her neck.
Yeah.
and she just goes for it, like grabs his
Yeah.
butt, gives it a big old squeeze.
Yeah.
She's also making like moany sex noises, even though like you can see that
Nothing's
they're both
happening.
like no one has penetrated anyone. Like he has
you can
full
you can still make the moaning
from
sex
dry
noises.
humping. Are you 14?
Yes.
Well, no.
Well,
I'm just
not
saying they're
14.
dry humping.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
a
dry
little-
humping, and
I'm only a
she's like
little older
acting
than
like
14.
they're like having full on sex.
Yeah, you would think
people
she
get-
had already come from dry humping.
Yes.
People get fucking nuts about it.
Okay. Okay, you're right. So she hears something and she's like, "Oh my gosh, someone's here." And he's like, "I don't know." And it's the husband. The husband's there. So she's like, "Quick, get in the closet."
Oh,
so he
boy.
runs in the closet, takes all his stuff, and then the husband's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I don't care. Come here, big boy." And she makes him
Yeah.
take off his shirt, and then he gets on top of her, dry humps her, and she's like moaning
Yeah.
like crazy
He's
too.
just in the closet.
But he's in the closet watching this, and he also watches him open a drawer to like put his necktie or something in it, and there he sees his gun. Also,
okay.
this man is the like not hot zaddy that simply daddy who confronted Daniel in the locker room before.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's all coming together.
Right.
Gotcha.
So on his way out, he sneaks out and he drops his belt on the ground. Okay. So, you think he got away, but doesn't look so good.
No boy.
So he's like very stressed. Jason's very stressed, and he goes to Courtney and he's like, all right, I'm really quitting this time. This is done. And she's like, no, this is not going to happen. This time it's not good. She
she's
hires.
not letting him quit.
Yeah, she has another guy,
Benjamin.
Who
I need a whole movie on Benjamin.
Yes. He was the first sex worker that she hired, and she hires him to go rough or go
He's her
talk
muscle.
to Jason. Yeah.
He's her muscle, but he's also a twunk, and he's also smaller than Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's
And we get a
tiny little
whole
guy. Looks like
Ryan
Tom
Phillippe in I Know What You Did Last Summer shower scene
Yep.
where the lights go out. He's like wet in a towel.
Once again in the locker room in a towel.
In a towel for a long, long time, like wandering the locker room.
Because the lights turn out, but by turn out I mean they all turn red.
They turn
Yeah, it
red.
just
For
goes,
no reason.
It goes dark. Yeah.
And Benjamin
It's a light.
holds him at night.
It's a dark room now.
And
Yeah.
he's
Everyone
like,
out.
I'm Courtney's friend, and you have to see the clients. You can't leave. You're in this forever.
Yeah, he's like, and then he pulls a knife on him and is like, I also will murder your sister if you fuck this up.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So Courtney.
I guess I have no choice. I have to
Yeah,
go
so then all the
fuck
consensual
fuck
stuff that they
women.
did before
yeah,
goes out the window.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're ramping it up. So Courtney has a party at her house with all the fancy people in town.
Because
okay?
she's won like a Businesswoman of the Year award for her Arbonne, but it's not Arbonne. It's hooking, and it's also not Arbonne.
Right.
But it's basically Arbonne.
But basically, everyone in the town like uses her services except for Nicole, the mom. And she has all the young men, all her young sex worker men, working as caterers at this party. But the funny thing is, all of the cougar clients are there, and they just can't keep their hands to themselves. So, like,
Yeah.
as like one goes by, they'll like smack him on the ass,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like take him to a side room or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nicole is the only person at
No.
this party who I'm assuming is not
Because
hooking.
she's
She's
very
not
slow.
hiring anyone.
She's just like,
and she's
Jesus
looking around like,
Christ,
what
What
is
is
going
happening?
on?
And mind you, this is after good old Amber, Chad's girlfriend, was like, hey, there's a sex ring at the school. And she still is like, I don't know.
She
This seems
still
weird.
doesn't put it together.
And then,
Okay.
so then Sabrina's aunt is like super drunk at this party and goes outside, and they have a heated conversation, and she's like, listen, that little prostitute girl's left his belt there, and now my husband's leaving you and I'm out of money. So tries to like hustle her for money.
she extorts her for money.
Yeah.
Nice,
Meanwhile,
okay.
Jason's mom sees this
Starting
like
to
from
get-
the window, but can't see exactly what happens.
It's
and
starting
then,
to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she asks someone, hey, where's the bathroom? And she goes, right over there. And then she opens a different door, and it's Daniel fucking some like the judge. again.
yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
she's like, excuse me, and closes the door. And she's like, that was weird.
And still doesn't
Still doesn't
necessarily
put it together.
Put
I brought a clip from the party because I want you to see Beth Broderick in all her glory, because she really is just a supreme actress and like really, really funny. Like in this whole movie, she was hysterical.
Yeah. She truly got
Like
it.
So-
legit funny and like yeah,
Legit funny. Here is just a little clip of that for Drew.
Hi, I thought you could use some fresh air.
Oh, no, I hate fresh air. Let's go back in. I need another drink.
No, you've had enough to drink, Karen.
Am I embarrassing you? Am I ruining your little party? Good. You deserve it after what you did to me.
And what have I done to you?
Your boy, Jason, was in such a hurry the other night that he forgot his belt. Bill found it the next morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. So the mom doesn't put it together then, but please may I explain when she does put it together?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
So-
So then it cuts to her back in her guidance counselor office.
Is it her like looking like looking at
Yeah,
different
she
parts
sees
of
all,
the
you see all
Wait a
that in
minute.
the party. But then she still doesn't quite put it together until she goes back to her office and picks out an old yearbook and looks at a picture of the wrestling team, and there is Courtney, the madam. And then she literally goes tap, tap, tap with her finger on where the picture of the madam is.
Okay.
And
Because
it's
she was
like-
like a coach
Oh,
of the team
yeah.
or something.
Like she
Or the sponsor of the
She
team.
did like enhance
Yeah.
this image.
It literally, no, she
No,
tap, tap,
she's
taps
like,
on the picture.
That's the one. Tap, tap, tap.
And then
Oh.
she
It's a piece
also
of paper.
underlines, like, you know, where it says on the yearbook on the bottom, it's like has a list of all the names, and then it like has her little finger underlining Courtney, whatever her last name was.
Right, just in case it wasn't clear from the picture. Yeah. And it's like a very bad Photoshop picture also, by the way.
Yeah.
So the blackmail doesn't go well with Beth Broderick because Benjamin comes over
The
to
icon
her
that is
house.
Benjamin. And I need a full film of Benjamin. There's so much backstory on Benjamin that they gave us in like 3 lines that
Sure.
were more fascinating than this whole movie.
It's true. And he's like pretending to come over to like seduce her because he's the first sex worker. And she's like, oh, you were always one of my favorites, Benjamin. Come on in. She takes him upstairs and he's like, you know, doing his moves. And then there's an envelope with something in it.
Newspaper. Because he was like, here's your money. So there was supposed to be $100,000 in that envelope.
And it was just newspaper
It was just
clippings?
newspaper.
I thought the newspaper clippings were something symbolic. And
No. It was just like
It should have been Monopoly money or something.
Well, or like
It was shaped.
or
oh,
the
it was, like,
actual money.
shaped.
You know what I mean? Because then it was like she was like, because what if she had looked at the doorway instead of when they got upstairs?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's supposed to be fake money in an
Yeah.
envelope, but she
Yeah.
opens it. She's like, what the hell is this? And then he starts strangling her, okay?
Yeah.
And she's like, what? But she's up against the dresser where the
Where that
husband
gun
put his
is.
tie next to the gun. So she grabs the gun,
Okay.
shoots it off, and hits him, I guess. We see no blood or anything like
No.
that. No budget for that. But he's like,
Yeah.
oh no. Like,
him, like, in the
actually, he
side.
doesn't even react to being shot. He just strangles her
Yeah.
and then walks out of the room holding his side.
yeah.
I mean, that's how a true killer does.
I guess so. The
Yeah.
adrenaline's running. But he goes over to Courtney's house. He's like, Courtney, help me. I've been shot. She's like, well, we'll call an ambulance.
An
And,
ambulance.
well, she didn't say ambulance. She's not from Maryland like me.
Also, they sort of vaguely in one of the scenes with Daniel, they were like, "Yeah, Benjamin tried to get me to like work for him now." So like there was like a seed of Benjamin trying to like take over Courtney's business
Yes.
from earlier, but like
Okay.
it was
Not-
a little vague. This is why I needed a full Benjamin film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she basically lets him die because she's like, you backstab me and try to start your own thing. So I'm going to let you bleed out. She throws him in the trunk of her car, and then she plants the bodies together, like Beth Broderick's body and Chad's body. So it looks like they killed each other.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
they did.
Yeah.
She doesn't want it on her hands.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're almost there. So Nicole and Jason get into the fight that we saw about the dad. And Jason goes to the cabin at the beginning of the movie and like looks at pictures of his dad, and he's holding a football. And that seems stupid. I don't even
Yeah.
know why I wrote that down.
Because there is
It's
a
just
theme
a
of he
show.
literally murdered his dad with a football, and now
Yeah.
you're like holding it at
Yeah.
the cabin where you murdered your dad.
Sure. Does that inform anything else in the movie?
No, I
It just gives him the resolve to be like, now I'm going to take Courtney down.
Okay.
yes, I wrote a joke that he was like thinking about Chad and they're going to be lovers, and he really misses Chad.
I mean, I miss Chad.
Yeah.
I
me too.
even
I
miss Chad.
still miss Chad.
Bring back Chad.
Chad was like hotter than Daniel. I feel like they should have swapped them.
So
I
Daniel,
miss Chad 'cause he was a
I
bush.
agree.
Because Daniel was like kind of
Daniel-
hot, but
Ow.
No,
Daniel
Daniel's
looked
like
too much like an actual
Disney Channel
teenager.
hot.
Yeah.
So Daniel and Jason hatch a plan. They're gonna get Courtney's client book and give it to the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
because Daniel was originally booked for this quote very special job, and then so Jason's like, well, let me just switch in for you
yeah.
for this quote very special job.
So he goes over to Courtney's house, and Courtney's like, "Oh, thank God you're here. You're really doing me a favor. Come on inside." And then the door rings. And it's the mayor.
The mayor with a good headshot.
The mayor with a good headshot, and he's like, "My wife's coming. She's gonna be late. Doesn't mean we can't get started now."
Yeah, like you can tell that
Oh.
this wife might not be a real wife, and also like whatever. And so he's like, okay. And then he's like scurries upstairs, like still on the, like not even really thinking like, oh, that's weird that the mayor wants to fuck me. He's still thinking like, gotta get this binder.
Yeah.
He goes up to the room and they pan to a ball gag and a riding crop on the bed.
Yes. So he gonna
and some
get
handcuffs.
it. He gonna
and some
get
handcuffs.
it.
And he's like, oh boy. And then he goes to the drawer where the binder was and it's gone.
Yes.
And that's when the mayor walks in and he's like, so who's ready to get fucking gagged?
Yeah,
Who's fucked?
Who's ready to get
Got to die.
fucking gagged?
Yeah.
Is it you? I'm just kidding. I know it's you for
I'm
sure.
paying
Yeah.
you for this.
And then he beats up the mayor.
Yeah, he beats up the mayor. He steals the book. Courtney.
Why did he beat up the bear?
Well, because he is homophobic.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that is like what was like,
You'd have to be like, dude.
that was what was fucked up
I'm
about
actually
this. Is
not
like,
cool with this.
There was like some homophobia
it
going
was
on there.
definitely
Yeah.
like after, literally 90 minutes of the most homoerotic movie ever, it was like, oh, this is all fine until there's gayness involved.
Until the bad gay man comes and wants to have a good time.
You-
That was a
you
bridge too far.
awful-
Right.
You awful bisexual man.
Because they really teetered on, like, they didn't make
And
it
you're the
so...
mayor? Ah, scandal!
They didn't make it, like, super anti-sex work. Like, it was a little more, like, liberal leaning than I thought it would be. Like,
Yes.
normally it's like, oh, because there were, like, you know, it wasn't as... Until the gay stuff came in, they're like, no, it's too far.
This is too far.
But
Yeah.
Courtney has a gun. She holds the gun and she's like, "Get back here! You're not going anywhere." She takes him to the garage, ties him up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nicole and Justine, the sister,
Yeah.
are just learning about the murders.
Nicole just tapped on that yearbook.
you know,
was like,
they just
shit.
figured it out.
So she gets home and she's like, fuck, he's over there.
So she tapped on the yearbook for herself.
Yes,
Basically,
she didn't show anyone.
She's just like,
She tapped on it while she was at
I'm
school.
gonna
Meanwhile,
tap
like,
this.
her son was like already about to go get ball gagged by the neighbor.
Yes,
While she's like doing archival yearbook research.
like, where are your children? Pay attention.
your kid is getting ball gagged and fucked.
Also, I just want to take one more thing about this mom who is supposedly a guidance counselor. And in the beginning of the movie, she goes, "Are you going to try out for football? Purity Falls is a great football team." It was like, you are a guidance counselor and your son murdered his own dad with football and you're trying to get him to play football? Okay.
Just
So
some minor psychology.
So she
knowledge
comes home
would
after
help
tapping the
them.
football, and the daughter's there, and she's like, "Shit, is Jason about to get murdered?"
Yeah, so the mom's like, "You stay here, daughter. I'm gonna run over and I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna take care of this." You know, great decision. So she goes into the garage. She sees Jason's all tied up. He's like, you know, one of those. And she's like, "I'll get you out." And then Courtney, of course, comes and so she goes to hide behind a tractor. So she's hiding behind the tractor, and Courtney, I guess, has like this whole like master plan that she's revealing. Or something.
Are they on a farm?
I don't know. There was a tractor in the garage, and I wrote it down.
Yeah.
And
this is when I think,
Would
oh,
there be a fucking
the
tractor
mom
though?
is gonna kill the Courtney with the shotgun. This is when you
Yes.
think like, fuck,
Yeah, the
this
shotgun.
mom is gonna.
Here we
This
go.
is where the
Like I
shotgun
thought it was
comes
gonna
in.
be the brother, but nope, it's gonna be the mom.
Right. And so as Courtney's like gonna shoot him, the mom jumps out and like attacks Courtney, and they're struggling on the floor, and then there's a screwdriver because he was trying to get himself out, so he throws a screwdriver to his mom. She stabs Courtney with the screwdriver.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
And they get it. She unties him, gets him up. They're walking out. They stop in the door of the garage and have a heart-to-heart moment as you see Courtney like getting up
And reaching for the gun.
reaching for the gun.
yeah.
Because duh. Like
fucking duh.
run away.
Yeah.
And before she can shoot the mom and son, the daughter comes around with the rifle and she's like, that's my gun sound.
Yeah, sister.
So the sister did it, who
She's
we
the
would have
hero.
never expected the whole
Because
time.
she's anti-gun.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
I was gonna
So
say.
she shoots Courtney.
sister.
Courtney dies.
Yeah.
And then we flash to 6 months later, and there's a party or something.
Yeah, they're having a
They're
party
all
at
in
the
prison.
cabin.
They're all fucking in prison right now.
And you know, Jason musters up the courage to throw that football.
Yeah, they're playing catch at the cabin where his dad died from playing catch.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
lot of courage.
so
It takes a
he
lot
took
of
her.
courage. That's
And
very
that
brave. Very
is the movie.
Yeah.
yes.
So on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. What are you going to do with this movie, Kathleen?
Oh, I'm gonna pour it up, and I'm gonna especially pour it up for like some. I'm gonna say like a 13 to 14-year-old girl who's not watching porn yet, but
Sure.
wants to like explore some things.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Or a boy,
Or a
because it was
boy.
the most homoerotic movie
So gay.
that I've ever
So
seen.
gay.
Yeah, yeah.
More homoerotic than Top Gun.
Yes. Yeah. Drew, how about you?
I'm gonna pour it the fuck up.
Yeah. Why?
It just has every. I mean, God, I had a halfie the whole time. This whole time.
Whoa, prove it.
All right, 1 second.
Pics or it's not real.
I'm doing it right now, listeners.
You know, that trick doesn't work anymore. They know you're not really doing it.
It was really very good.
Yeah, it was good. I'm also pouring it up.
No, that's
I
fun.
had a
That
great
is fun.
time. The acting was pretty solid.
The acting was, and here's why Benjamin also needed his own movie. Benjamin was the best actor in that film.
Yeah, he was.
And
And
the mom.
the writing was actually pretty decent. I didn't look it up and see if it was men or women who wrote it, but whoever wrote it, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. That's a fun little jam. It's pretty original in terms of
Switching it to be men.
if I go if you're going into Lifetime land,
Yeah.
Right.
that's pretty original. It's not. It's like
Yeah.
oh, this is
Yeah.
What a male prostitution
Yeah.
ring in a fucking small town.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
And
dude.
it was like
I feel
I
like
said-
it's like based on a true story somehow. Because
think
I'm
it definitely was, though.
How did Lifetime make this up?
Right.
I don't think they did. I think it based it off of something that
Sure.
was real.
I think
right?
it definitely was.
Who knows? They love to say it. They didn't say it at the beginning, so,
So
I
it's
would say
not,
they're not
okay.
going to say that.
But it was smart for them to be like, remember me? I'm 18. I'm an 18-year-old
Yeah.
who is legally of age.
yeah,
So
just
this
in case
movie
you thought
isn't
this was
creepy.
creepy. Yeah, it's not creepy. Okay.
There's no female names in the direction
and the
or the writing.
production.
Okay,
but,
so that's
well, fine.
standard.
Maybe they're all gay, and that's great.
Yeah, even better.
Even better. Okay, let's do a Candace.
Yeah, Candace.
What you say? Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say? Candace Cameron Bure.
Okay, what you say, Candace Cameron Bure, the segment where we watch Candace's Instagram and we talk about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I have some clips.
Hell
okay,
yeah.
I have a few.
I
She's
kinda
been
miss-
kind of fun on Instagram.
Is it
lately.
weird? I kind of miss her
You do?
when I don't get the Candace Cameron berets.
Well, don't
all the
worry. Just re-listen to the podcast. There's many Candace
That's
segments
true.
to listen to. This one is about gardening because,
Fuck yeah.
well, right? Because I figured that's on bread for Kathleen here. It gets weird.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Look what I just went and picked from the
It's
garden.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's why I need
bunch
my
of little
apron
tomatoes.
on. You guys, they're like my little children. I'm so proud of them. Oh, look how beautiful they are and all their colors. I'm so excited. It's going to be a little weird to eat my children, but I'm going to eat them for lunch today.
It is. That is true.
When did I be like the total creepy old lady? I am with our baby vegetables. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty, you guys.
Yes. All right.
I've been to the beach,
Oh,
and
yes.
this is going down for lunch.
Part 2.
Yes.
Wait, so she's just eating.
Along with one of these.
Ah, come on,
Sun-kissed-
brand ambassador.
Sun-kissed tuna creation.
She's in a commercial for them. She's their brand ambassador.
Yes. So it starts off
Oh, that's
fun
right.
Candace, right? You know, it was like fun Candace gets a little weird and she gets a little subconscious about saying that she's going to eat her babies. And then full on spawn ad at the end for Starkist Tuna. So if you ever needed an Instagram clip of like what Candace is all about, this is the one.
actually
'Cause I was
perfect
also like-
because it's also she said a weird thing and then backtracked, but all in one.
Yes.
Story, right? Rather
Also,
than
I was
like
like-
going back and be like, I see their comments and
She's
fucking
been getting more self-aware.
Yeah.
But also,
Good
I'd
for
like to
her.
point out that her lunch consisted of a few tomatoes, a bunch of carrot sticks, and dry
and
tuna.
a thing of tuna
For the beach. Tuna for the beach.
for the beach. I'll tell you one thing. That is not a good thing to eat
and
at a
we've
beach.
we've told her before, Candace, like, do your ads or whatever, but don't try to sell me on tuna at the beach.
Never.
She has to be the happiest person now that Lori Loughlin isn't in her struggles, because I
Yes.
feel like they fill a similar spot in people's hearts.
And
Yeah.
Candace has become number one.
Yeah.
Also, have you watched Oprah's gardening videos, her Harvest Day videos?
Oh, no. She's too fancy for this podcast.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
way
God.
too fancy.
Let me tell you what. Harvest Day at Oprah's like California place.
Yeah.
It's just her yelling about vegetables, and she gets like a giant oversized. Like that's why I was like, "What? 6 tomatoes, Candace? Okay."
Yeah.
Oprah has like a giant oversized basket, like filled with perfectly placed vegetables, and then her just screaming about them, and
Right.
it's great.
Right.
Well, good.
That's great.
I will check that out.
She deserves that. All that.
Well, she does.
Oprah's
Oprah deserves
Instagram
it.
is truly the most magical place. There was one where she just comes out and kicks a soccer ball and goes, "Yay!" and then turns around and she has a custom USA women's soccer team jersey that says Oprah on the back.
Of course.
And so she comes out and like lightly kicks a soccer ball and turns around and points to Oprah on her jersey.
So follow
That is
Oprah,
fucking
not
awesome. Yeah,
Candace.
follow
No,
Oprah.
follow them both. But
Don't
just
follow
know.
Candace.
Don't
Cameron
follow
Bure.
Candace.
Don't. I'm just
We
saying,
follow her so you don't have to. But follow Oprah.
I'm just saying,
Follow Oprah for sure.
don't be impressed by Candace's tomatoes.
True. All right. Kathleen, anything to plug at the plug time of the podcast?
Oh my gosh. Oh wow. I have a YouTube channel called Kathleen Sing Stuff. Mm-hmm. And
And what happens on that channel?
you know, I do crocheting projects.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds fun.
And you just like hum. Like
Right.
No,
hymns.
I just
you sing
I
hymns
silently
to yourself while you're.
I silently knit. No, I actually don't know how to knit. Also, I've been working on. I had Patrick come to the show. I'm doing a Hallmark Christmas movie musical parody called "Deck the Hallmark" at Second City. We have a couple more previews in September, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be up like 8 times a week in the Up Comedy Club at Second City.
Yeah, for the holiday show.
Hallmark fans and comedy fans, I think will like it.
Check it out. I'm trying to get some of those people on the podcast for Hallmark time. So,
Ooh.
yeah, we'll see. It was fun. I highly recommend.
That's great.
It's fun.
But only if Kathleen's MD putting that out into the world.
Yeah.
If not,
If not, who cares?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Drew, how about you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Drew But With Pants. And speaking of music, I have a band. It's the Limbos. We just dropped a song pretty recently. It is a cover of What Is Love.
Oh.
So,
Cool.
just dropped a single,
Baby,
and I'm very
don't
proud of it.
hurt
So,
me.
yeah.
That one?
How
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you both for being here. And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies so you don't have to. But if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to rate and review us. Okay. Bye.
Bye.